Hey everyone, it's time for another QA session with the Duke, and today we are going to tackle the question, how come I can't find ServiceNow talent? And I'm not just going to cop out and say ServiceNow talent is rare, because what good would that do you? So we're going to cover things that you might be doing right now that are inhibiting your chances of finding the talent that you want. Okay, the first thing you might be doing wrong is what I call the slash dilemma, and it's when you package a higher value position with a lower value position, where you're saying architect slash admin or dev slash admin. What you have to know is that they're all different types of work, and when you package the term architect or dev with admin, it gives the perception that you are demanding a higher value skill set at a lower value price. Now, the Duke is a pragmatist. I know, especially at customers, you need somebody who can do the high level stuff that an architect and or a developer would do, but you also need somebody to take care of the lower level stuff that an admin would take care of. That's fine. I'm just saying if you put that in the job description, the perception is going to scare people away. Another problem you might be having is just overbuying expertise. I've been surprised over the past quarter the amount of job recs I've seen with multiple process certs required for the job. So you want somebody with ITSM plus ITOM plus ITBM plus HR plus something else. What you have to realize is a lot of the mainline implementation certifications are careers in their own right, much the same way that a plumber and an electrician are their own jobs, and it's very rare that you would find somebody who gets both. So if you think about wanting somebody with that many certs, they are de facto going to be much more expensive, or they might be the kind of person that is highly motivated by certifications but maybe doesn't have the field experience to really control an implementation. Another problem you might have is a legitimate ignorance as to the real technical requirements behind the ServiceNow resource that you're trying to get. I can't tell you how many times I've seen somebody looking for like a ServiceNow admin, but on that job rec with stuff like 5 years of writing XML or multiple years writing Ajax. And on top of that, I've seen so many things lately where there's just technologies that don't fit at all. I'll give you one quick example. In the past quarter, I saw one job rec that had Cold Fusion on it. Now, there's not many developers at all using Cold Fusion, but within the ServiceNow realm, I can't even imagine what that requirement would be for. Now, I happen to know the person whose job rec that was on, and what you have to realize is that sometimes it's HR that puts it on. They have sort of a generic canned, this is what a developer is at our organization. And you got to be careful because those requirements do scare developers away. For that specific job rec, I sent 2 people to go apply for it, and they both came back to me like, I don't understand Cold Fusion. Are you sure you want me to apply? So in those cases, if you're on the looking side, by all means, still apply. Let the client decide. But if you are a ServiceNow customer and you want ServiceNow talent, scour your job recs. Fight the good fight with HR departments that are putting this on the job rec. It scares the resources away. I want to underscore there that those job recs were for ServiceNow admins, effectively junior resources on the team. They weren't going to be hardcore developers, and so they didn't even need that deep technical experience. So if you want to load your job rec up with familiarity of like XML and Ajax and, oh God help me, I seen one lately that was Java. Not JavaScript, just Java, that was it. Anyway, pay really close attention to the technical specifications that you're putting on these job recs. Okay, I also want you to consider your long-term view on talent acquisition. I understand that you want to have the experienced, grizzled ServiceNow veteran talent right here and right now, and that's fine. However, you are in competition with everybody else who's fighting over that resource. The partner ecosystem is going after those same people, and they're a lot more aggressive on salary. You might not be able to compete that way. But I want you to consider how all the rest of us got to the point where we were grizzled veterans. ServiceNow was not airlifted into a population of developers that had all kinds of extra capacity with which to develop on ServiceNow or implement on ServiceNow if you're not a developer. ServiceNow went through its first stages of explosive growth with the resources that were on hand. These were people like me, junior sub under drone IT admin. This guy doesn't look like he's doing much. Let's make him the ServiceNow admin. And people like me who were ambitious, but maybe didn't have a full stack development skill set, and I was allowed to fly, and I was allowed to use ServiceNow in a way that I could propel both my organization's value, but also my career. So don't overlook internal resources who are looking for a fight. You can also look at this as getting a more junior resource on the market who's also looking to prove themselves. It doesn't have to come from inside, but don't be afraid to get a more junior resource or a resource internally that you can cross-train. How much does it cost to recruit a good ServiceNow resource? I've heard anywhere from 10 to 30% of their year's salary. And at that rate, you can send a junior or inexperienced resources to ServiceNow certification training, get them certified out the wazoo for significantly less than the recruiting cost of a resource that you might not even get. Now, I'm sure not all of you will be doing this, but it's in here for the comedic value anyway. Make sure that your standards aren't stupid. Stupid standard would be something like, I want a resource with 5 years experience in ServiceNow for a junior position. In what world does somebody who's been around for a third of a product's lifetime mark as junior? Another example of a stupid standard is one that I got recently from a partner who was looking for 2 mid to senior level resources, and they use this paradigm called top ranking. And it was funny because here they are desperate for the ServiceNow talent, and they're out there thumping their chest about how difficult and awesome their selection process is, and they're telling me to immediately dismiss anybody who has so few as 1 spelling, grammar, or formatting mistake on their resume, or the emails pertaining to the resume. Now, I mean, just think about this for a second. The modern IT worker reads more and writes more in a day than an author from 100 years ago would have. And that author would have had a professional editor to go along with them. And I guess this just speaks to, remember who's trying to attract who. They are the prize. You are not the prize. This has been another QA session with the Duke from the rapidly darkening night sky of Chicago. I hope there's some wisdom in there for you. As always, keep my inbox flooded with questions. And if you need any help crafting a ServiceNow job rec for an open position you have, please feel free and reach out.